There was a concept car that I saw there that just totally blew me away. And I said, when I grow up, I want to be a car designer for that company. It was the Cadillac Cyclone concept. It just had that kind of emotional effect on me, and I found out where that car was designed, and by age 11, and I wrote them a letter, the GM designer,
Wow.
and wanted to know what courses I should take. Through school, I continued to be in communication with them. I went to Howard University. I was in the School of Fine Arts, and both design and sculpture. I feel as though the best designs are very sculptural. You have an understanding of form and proportion, and sculpture is important, and so that was my background, and then on to GM. Well, inspiration can come from everywhere. It comes from art, it comes from music. I love music. I have to have music around me. I always draw inspiration from that, from nature, from what's happening in fashion design, other areas of product design. You can be in France and you see a building that just can inspire you. A different way of managing glass to glass or something in the car. And you see what others are doing in automobile design, and you want to beat it. You've got to go into automobile design for the right reasons. If you're not really passionate about it, don't go into it because it's something cool, or you got to do it because you're passionate about it, that you live it, you breathe it, you have this real focus on it. Coming up, Bill Mitchell was a huge inspiration for me as a designer, and today, with every single design review that I'm a part of, I am totally blown away by the work that our people are doing. I am just totally thrilled with what I see, no matter which one of our 11 studios I go into, and you see the work, it's just, wow. I've been with GM for 44 years, and it isn't like something you turn on and off like a toggle switch. I have formed the Welburn group that will continue to do design. We'll be consultants in design. Mary Barr, who's our chairman of General Motors, has asked me to stay on to lead the design of an all-new design center at General Motors. And I have incredible interest in automobile design, but I have interest in other forms of design as well. We have 11 design centers around the world, and each has their unique. Each one has its own unique character about it, but they all work together. It's like a very seamless, very powerful design team. From my vantage point, overlooking all of it, the competition is fantastic. And it's a healthy competition. Generally, each team has their assignments, but at times I may ask 2 or 3 of the teams to compete on the project. The sharing is great, though. It's just, I love it. The past few years, I've averaged about 130,000 miles a year traveling to the studios. We have the most incredible technology in the world. I'm able to sit in Detroit and have virtual reviews with Mark and the other team. Mark can have reviews with teams around the world from his office in Europe. But it only works if you spend time with them live. If you haven't gone to those centers and spent time with them, all the technology in the world will never work. There was a period where I think a lot of the great designers were coming from Italy. The design houses that are there were very strong. But there was a period where, just actually wonderful design came from right here in the UK. I think today, great designers, or at least you look at our team, they come from everywhere, from all over the planet. And from India, from Russia, from Brazil. I really think that period when Wayne Cherry was leading design at Vauxhall, it was just great work happening. A lot of the spirit of the brand I credit to Wayne Cherry. He was all about building strong, very well-differentiated brands and building great concepts. Vehicles that were done, very spirited designs. There's a concept way over there at the entrance to this area that, as a student in design, I mean, that was a great inspiration for me. 63 Corvette Stingray split window coupe. The cars that last the longest are very clean designs with great proportions. Yeah, we should not confuse retro with building on the great strength or the great history of a brand. You look at a 911 Porsche and what they've done. I mean, the very latest 911 is a great design. And someone who doesn't know the history just loves that design, and that's cool. The Stingray, I talked about 63 Stingray being one of my all-time favorite cars. Every Corvette since then was inspired by that design. Building on the history of the brand is very important in establishing a very strong and unique identity in the marketplace. It has to look very fresh and very new. The new Corvette is inspired by that 63. We're on step 1 or step 2 right now. I mean, just look at our vehicles today. All the systems that really drive the car for you make driving much easier. The totally self-driven car is coming. The 60s were some of our favorite cars come from that period. It was also a very turbulent period. And near the end of it, the safety regulations and fuel economy regulations were hitting the auto companies, and it was very difficult. Yes, we have challenges today, but those challenges are exciting to me. I mean, taking on those challenges, great things happen when you deal with a challenge like that, and it really pushes the team. And the great teams will plow through it, and something great will come out of it. Others will have problems. Designer today has to understand the business of design, has to understand the financial side of what it is you're developing. Yeah, you'd love to have a design hang in a museum of modern art. I'd much rather have 200,000 of them on the streets here. I mean, it's far more important. So, taking on those challenges, I think is what makes it great. It is a great opportunity to explore. It's a great opportunity to test the market when it comes to different design ideas or technologies, to maybe help forecast or give a preview of a new design that is coming. It's great for the organization internally, I believe. And there are a lot of concepts we develop that we never show publicly. Yeah, there is that risk that someone will pick up on that idea and run with it faster than we will, but we take that risk. Every designer wants to design a Corvette. It's not easy. It is tough because the requirements from end to end, top to bottom, are incredible. From aerodynamics to the packaging, it needs to perform, and you need to have great space inside. That particular customer wants to be able to carry their golf bag. So, I mean, many sports cars, you can't carry golf bags. So the criteria is challenging, but every designer wants to do it. When we started C7, I decided since every designer wants to design a Corvette, I'll open it up to every one of our designers in GM Global Design, from India to China to Germany to Brazil to United States, and it was great. I mean, just what that does for the organization to have the opportunity, they actually want my thoughts, my ideas for a Corvette. And they submitted just thousands of sketches, like overnight. Some locations, they had their day job they're working on, and then at night they'd work on Corvette. And it all came in, and it was exciting to review it all. The person who buys a Corvette, a certain percentage of their income comes into that purchase. But for our smallest, most basic car, probably a higher percentage of their income goes into that purchase. In fact, in some countries, maybe in India, it'll be two families that'll come together pull their money together to make that purchase, I take that customer as serious as I do the Corvette or the Cadillac customer and make the purchase when we design the vehicle. It's that important to me and to the whole team. There are so many of them, and we've done over 500 to 600 of them since I've been VP of Design. For me, what was most important was developing the global organization. Because when I took over, all the studios worked independent of each other around the world. And I took on the challenge of bringing it together into one seamless design organization. That is along with bringing together collaboration between design and engineering. We've been through periods where engineering ruled and they just threw designs over the wall to, or design ruled and they threw it over the wall to engineering. And there were some good cars at it, but the quality wasn't good. Then engineering dominated, and they pretty much engineered the vehicle and gave it to design to make it look pretty. That didn't work. So getting that right balance was very, very important. And that is why I think our cars have better proportions today. The quality is better, the styling of it is better. So more than any single vehicle, I guess I could say Corvette is a big deal, but they're all important to me. I know some of my predecessors didn't always leave on the best of terms, or things that may not have been the best of times. I really feel good about leaving at this point in time. I mean, it's been 44 years. I absolutely love everything about what I do. Oh, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be very busy, but I won't be getting up at 4:15 in the morning.